Hey there, how's it going? Welcome to Looplearnings, and in this video we are going to continue with inventory management system. If you're new to my channel or returning, welcome back. In any case, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please make sure that you do hit the bell icon so you get notification whenever I upload a new video. Right, so what are we going to do in this video? Let me talk about a business logic. If I double click on any of the order that is invoiced, one of the business logic or business processes are that the invoice has to be cleared by accounting department, and they have two set of information. One is how much money is collected from the customer against what document, and what document was created against the order through which the money was collected. So they will verify both set of information, and then they will mark that invoice as cleared. Now, if and this is what exactly I'm going to demonstrate in this video. So there's going to be VBA, a lot of VBA. There's going to be SQL statements, record sets, etc. So we are going to do mainly that part we are going to cover in this video. By the way, I do have something to ask, and that is, if you'll go to the PPT Edge channel, please make sure that you subscribe to this channel. If you love PowerPoint, if you like to learn about PowerPoint, make sure that you subscribe to this channel and watch the valuable content. And I'm sure you'll get some value in terms of creating beautiful slides and animations, etc., etc. All right, now one more thing before I start my video, and that's, I've been noticing the last two videos you guys are not watching, and those last two videos were fantastic. I mean, not because I made it, they are very valuable content. So I was wondering, is it me, because I've increased the frequency of uploading the video? Is it because of that, or is it the content is not good? Tell me in the comments below what's the reason. But I want you to watch these videos and learn from this, because I made these videos for you guys. Okay, let's move on and let's talk about what are we going to do. This first action is we are going to create a click event on the clear the invoices document. So the idea is that a accountant log on to this application, click on clear invoice documents, and get the list of all the invoices that are not yet clear. That's the idea. So the user can double click on it, view the invoice, and then mark it as cleared. Now, to do that, I made two queries. The reason two queries is, one, I've made a query related to invoices. So we'll have this information populated on the list box. Okay, now you can see that I've been testing, so that's why you can see cleared here. But anyway, so we will fetch this information and we will populate onto the list box. All right, and as I said, we only want the new invoices to be populated, and we do not want any cleared invoice to be populated. So that's one thing. And second, I have created a little form called invoice form. So basically, this form is unbound form, but will fetch the data from this list box, will populate it here. Okay, and then we'll do a bit of VB coding to mark this document as clear. So that's enough explanation. Let's go ahead and write some code. So we'll first of all we'll fetch the data from the invoices queue and we'll populate it here. So we'll go to the design view. We'll click on this button, event tab, dot dot dot, code builder, and here we are in the VB editor. Okay, so in here we are going to write code, and the first thing is we are going to actually give that reference of this button, the create button, and btn create dot caption equals invoices. First we'll do that, me dot btn create dot caption. Now this new keyboard, I'm actually not used to it, so that's why it's hard for me sometimes to type. And we'll say invoices, that's it. And then we will say me dot list dot row source, and we will set the row source by writing the select query. So we're going to select everything from where, from this query called invoices queue. Okay, invoices queue, where we'll have where clause, where the status equals new. Okay, as I said, we will fetch only the new queries. All right, so where the status equals new. Okay, so that's done. Now let's go ahead and set the column, because if there is a list box we have to set some properties. So we'll say me dot list dot column heads, and that would be true. And me dot list dot column count, and the column count would be how many columns? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 columns. And then we'll define the width, our column width, okay, equals, and the first one is ID, so we'll keep one, all right, 1.5 centimeter. The second one is date, so let's say 2.5 centimeter. The next one we have is customer, so let's say 5.5 centimeter. The next one is value, so 2.5 centimeter. The next one is, all right, order ID. So we need the order ID, but we'll hide it. We do need it. Status. So status would be 2.5 centimeters. Okay. All right. We need to do the double quote in here. Otherwise, we are going to get an error. All right. So that's done. Let's test it out if this fetches the information. So we'll go to the form view, click on the button, and there we are. We are getting the information. All right. Now, next step, we will double click event. We'll build a double click event and we will transfer the information on this invoice form. So I'm going to open that. I'm going to open the invoices. Okay, that's already open. So let's go to design view. So we click here, we go to the event tab, dot, dot, dot. And here we will say else if me dot btn create dot caption equals invoices, then do what? Do open the form, do cmd dot open form. Oh, where, see, that's what I'm saying. To cmd dot open form, the form name is invoice f, and where, okay, that's it. uh, Now we are going to transfer the information from the list box onto this form. So we'll what we'll do, we will go ahead and we'll open the invoice table into design view. So the first thing we are going to copy is invoice ID. So forms invoice f, exclamation mark invoice ID, me dot column, me dot list dot column, and the invoice ID resides in column number 0. So copy that, we'll paste it few times. Okay, the next thing we are going to copy, we're going to get is order ID, and the order ID resides in column number 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, column number 4, the order ID resides. Then we are going to get the next information, and that is invoice date, and we know that the invoice date resides. Why I'm typing 1? Okay, invoice date resides in column number 0, 1. All right, then we have the next column, we have value, so that means the invoice amount, and the invoice amount is stored in column number 0, 1, 2, 3. So in here we'll have 3, and the next one we have is the status, and the status equals to number 5. Okay, well, let's check it out. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's correct. Okay, that's it. So let's debug it, and let's check it out whether this thing work or not, if we are successful in that. So let's click here, let's click on order invoice number 3, and we have a problem, and that is E. I'm missing E, you see here, right? Okay, that's what happens when I doubt the spelling. Okay, double click, we are getting the information. So we are getting invoice number 3, order number 2, date 765 7695.172, status new. We are getting the information. How about the accountant? If the accountant wants to see, okay, we have earned this much revenue, but we sold which products? I want to know which products. So because you are designing a user interface, so how about having the products information in this particular list box, right? That would be awesome. That would be in fact amazing, that the accountant has the product information right there, can verify the value that was invoice was created for. So let's build that. And luckily, if we'll go to design view of this, we'll go to design view of this, and we'll go to the double click event dot dot dot, and in here we will write the um, line of code. And what are we going to do is we are going to fetch the information from the order details queue. That's why I made this query. So order detail queue, we will refer to order ID, and we will then fetch the bits and pieces of information from here, and we'll populate on the list box. We don't need much of the information, but few columns definitely we would want. So we will go back to the VB editor, and we will, underneath this we'll write a line of code. So we'll say forms. Okay, let me copy this rather than me typing. So we'll copy this, and the list box on the invoice form is called list. Surprise. Dot row source equals, and we will use the select statement, and we'll select what? We'll select the order ID for sure. Order ID. Okay. We will select the product. Okay. We don't need to select product ID. In case if you want, you can. We will select the quantity. We will select the total price. Total price as price. We'll select that as price. Okay. So comma. We'll select the status, and we'll select from order details queue. That's the query name, order details queue. All right. We'll have the where clause, where order ID. Okay. Order ID equals double quote ampersand me dot order ID. Sorry, me dot list dot column, and column number 4 of the list box has the order ID. I just recalled it very quickly, this list box. So column number 4 has the order ID. You can see here, right? Order ID column number 4. Now we have done that. Now we have to define some, like we did for the other form for the list box. Sorry, we will define the width of the column of this list box also, the list box here. But because this is a static information that we are going to get is not dynamic, we will actually define the width of the column here. So total, how many columns we are getting? 1 2 3 4 5. So total 5 columns. So we'll change to 5 here, and then now we will give a width. So let's say 0.5 centimeter, 0.5, sorry. The order ID, the product would be, let's say 4. um, we'll have then the total price, sorry, the quantity and total price and status. So quantity, let's say 0.6. um, Price, let's say 1.5, and then the status 1.5. So we'll see how it looks like. Let's first of all double click and let's test it out. Okay, and we, here you go, you can see that we have the order ID. The product is very uh, wide, actually. Even the price and status, they are also very wide column. So let's go ahead and fix those, and then we come back and we do the testing again. The point is the information is coming, right? So that's the important bit that we need to focus on. This width column and everything else, we can adjust it on the form wherever required. So let's say the first one column, it should be 0.6, and then 3 is for the name. Quantity is fine, we can reduce it to 1 for the status and the price column. So we'll go to the form view again. Now let's double click, and we still have wider columns, but at least again the information is coming. So that's very important. The accountant or the auditor can see the information right here. Let's reduce. I'm not liking it, so I'm going to go back. This is something that I can't control, that until things are fixed properly, I actually rarely accept. All right, that's done. So let's close. Now we are okay. Okay, now you can see that we have plenty of space. We have all the information coming. So now the accountant can see 7,695. Accountant can calculate here as well, verify that what products were sold against this particular order ID and invoice ID. Now the last step we need to do is we need to build a mechanism which will help us to clear the document, which will help us basically to change the status of the invoice itself to cleared. And not only that, in the accounting table we want the status to be cleared as well. So let's go ahead and do that. How about using the SQL statement instead of record set? Because I know I've been using record set quite a lot, but how about using the SQL statement to achieve that? So we want to change the status of this accounting table, and whatever record is relevant to that order, we want to change that from new to cleared. And also we want to change the status of the invoice itself to clear. Okay, so we're going to do multiple activities using the SQL statement. So let's go ahead and do that. So clear the document, go to the event tab, dot 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 code builder, and first of all we will see if nz me dot order id equals empty, or nz me dot invoice id is empty. In both cases, then through the message box to cmd.beep message box, this action cannot be performed. All right, so comma, we be critical, and double quote information. All right, okay, that's done. Now we will we'll say else, and we'll close that with end if. Now we will declare two variables, and variables for what? For the SQL statements. Remember, we are using SQL statements in this case. So we'll declare the variable dim, and we will say rs uh, inv, that's for invoice table, as string. And then we'll declare another variable dim rs accounting acc as string as well. And then we come here and we'll say um, rs invoice equals, and we use the update statement. Remember, we have update, insert, delete. To perform the CRUD operation, we can use the SQL statements as well. So I thought I will use the SQL statement rather than record set to achieve the purpose that we want to achieve. So what we are looking at the table that we need to update. So that's why I close that table. I copy the name to avoid any problem to happen. Update this table and set the status equals where? Equals, now we can open equal what? Equal status equal cleared. Sorry, I've been saying equal quite a lot. Sorry about that. Okay, where the invoice ID, because here remember we have the invoice ID, that is the reference we can give, where the invoice ID equals equal double quote ampersand and me dot invoice ID. Okay, so that will be done, and then we will declare that. Oh, sorry, we will execute that. So to execute, current db dot execute, and now it is asking what's the name of the query. So we'll say rsinv, and it is asking any options that do we need to provide. So we do need to provide dbc changes. After that, rs accounting equals, we'll use the update statement. Okay, so to update the record, dbo, let me copy the name instead rather than I type in. So we will go here in accounting, we'll copy the name, so paste in here. So we want to update this, but what do we want to update? We want to update the status again. So set, okay, set status equals cleared, but we have to give criteria as well, where clause. Remember, where clause is important, otherwise it will make every line item as cleared. So we have to give where clause, where reference ID and the transaction ID. So we know that the transaction ID 2 is for the sale, 1 is for the purchase. So when we are giving a criteria, we will give criteria for both. So first we will look at transaction type equals 2, and then we will look at the reference ID as order number. Okay, I hope that you understood. Where transaction type equals 2 and or sorry, and reference ID equals double quote ampersand ampersand, and we'll give a reference of the me dot order ID. Okay. Now you must be wondering why I did that, why I put two set of criterias. Reason being is in same table we are using two type of transactions. So we are using the one transaction type which is to purchase, two transaction type which is to sell. So in both cases, maybe the same reference ID will be there, and we don't want that to happen. So you can see that here already. Reference ID 2, transaction type 1. Okay. Now that is purchase. Now let's see here. Transaction type 2, which is sale, and reference ID is 2. So in that case, you can't just say the reference ID equals to me dot order ID. That in that case, it will also account this also. So I hope that you understood why I put these two logics here. But trust me, these are important. Current db dot execute, and now it will ask the name RS accounting, and we'll say dbc changes. All right, and after that we can give a message box to cmd.beep message box. The selected invoice and related documents has been marked complete, cleared. Okay, I hope that you are with me still. I hope that you are learning. I hope that you are understanding. If you have any question, please ask, and do watch these videos, guys. Come on, I make these videos for you and you guys don't even watch. That's not fair. Okay, let's test it out if this thing works. Okay, let's select this. Let's say order number, the invoice ID number 4, and we have product ID 2. All right, that's two big orders. Let's go to order number 2, invoice ID, sorry, 2, order number 3, and the status is new, and both products are marked as invoice. So now let's click on clear document, and it says that the selected invoice and related document has been marked cleared. So let's click OK. Now let's verify, because nothing seems to be happened here, but let's verify that. Okay. So if I click again, so invoice ID number 2, all right, remember this, Robert Downey Jr. 1280 new status right now. But if I clicked here, that invoice is gone because that is marked as clear. How do I know? Let's double click on the invoice table, and we can see that the invoice ID 2 has been marked as cleared. The second thing, I wanted to update the accounting table for the respective records. So if I click here, we can see that the order number 3 for transaction type 2 has been marked as clear. So the invoices, everything has been marked as clear. I think this is the most simplistic way of clearing the document I demonstrated. The real world demonstration, or the real world clearing of the documentation, requires a lot of work, a lot of steps, a lot of verification, but the fundamentals are the same. The idea is same, that we collected some amount from customer, accounting department made sure that whatever is collected against whatever is collected, it's all matching. That's the idea of creating this particular documentation. Now there's a little bit of work that is left. Let me, just one or two lines of code, so let me write those line of code, so we are done with the invoice also. So for example, here we'll click here, and first of all we will where's the status cleared, status cleared. We'll also display the status as cleared as well. So me dot status equals cleared. Okay, and also after everything is done, we want to update the dashboards list box. We'll say forms exclamation mark, and we'll say dashboard f. I hope these spellings are correct, because I often get error by writing the incorrect name, dot requery. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that again. Let's see if we are able to. So let's go with invoice number 5 this time. Double click it. So 1820. All right, just we'll bring it here. We'll clear the document. So you can see that it is marked as cleared here. Now watch this. Click OK, and you can see that invoice is marked as cleared and it is gone. Order number 4, invoice ID 5. Okay, so if we'll go here, order number 4, invoice ID 5, so marked as cleared. And then in accounting department, order number 4 is marked as cleared. So that's how you do it. That's how you use the power of VBA SQL and you actually perform this task. So I hope that you have learned something in this video, and I really do understand that you all are busy, but hey, I made these videos for you guys, so I'm expecting that at least you watch these videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.